Welcome to Sales Chaos TV. My name is Dan Welchman. My partner Todd here is chuckling because I just stepped all over my introduction, but that's okay. I am a speaker, author, writer, sometimes a guy who talks clearly, and so is my partner Todd Schnick. Today we have an important topic we're going to bring to you, as you know, the rules of Sales Chaos TV out of our studios here in Atlanta. Every week we bring a subject to you about business and social media, and we solve it. In 8 minutes, we take all of life's problems and we solve it. So I'm going to put 8 minutes on the clock. And I've got a question for my buddy Todd here about social media selling.
Social media selling, okay.
Selling on social media, whatever you call that. I'll give you a lot of liberty here, whether it's marketing, selling, PR, branding, all of that's available to you, except you don't have Twitter and you don't have Facebook. What do you do?
Ooh, I like it. All right, so we're talking about how to sell. I think that's a whole other conversation because I think what you and I understand as selling on social media is different than what other people might think. So we probably ought to set the table and talk about that a little bit. But selling it, but
no Twitter, no Facebook.
But no Twitter or Facebook.
Now what do you do?
So what tools do you use? Well, that's interesting. So, well, first of all, I don't think you should sell on social media.
Okay. Okay.
I think you should serve.
Curveball.
I think you should serve. I think you should educate. I think you should help people. I think you should engage in conversation and dialogue and try to be helpful and be of service and all that. And I think as a result of doing those kinds of things, you're going to build relationships that are ultimately going to lead to business. And so, so if you're saying buy my product for $99.99 by clicking this buy now button, I think that's bad. But if you're out there helping and serving, that's how you sell.
Okay.
Anyway, so
I'll buy that. Now,
setting that
still,
table.
what do? I think you're stalling because you may not have some options.
Oh no, I think there's some cool tools to use. This is really cool. If you could not use Facebook or Twitter, well,
what would you do? What do you do?
Well, all right, let's talk about one of the hot ones, Pinterest.
Pinterest.
Could you sell on that? I mean, could you?
I'm asking you. Tell me.
Well, I think you could. Part of selling is also communicating your brand identity and what you stand for.
Sure.
And
cool things you enjoy.
Cool thing. Well, for me, I'm an intrepid guy, and so I like to put out things about kicking fear's ass and do those kinds of stuff. So Pinterest is a great tool for me to kind of communicate to my marketplace that I'm about people overcoming fear.
Sure.
And by being an intrepid marketer, they can be successful.
Well,
so Pinterest is a great way to put out imagery and stories in that respect.
And I enjoy, sorry for cutting you off, I know we're both runners. I enjoy expensive running shoes, and so I've been on I'll go on Roadrunner Sports or any of these other online shoe places and find a cool shoe I like that's $300 that I know I'm never going to buy, and I'll Pinterest it and put it on my board, and then
Pinterest is a great branding tool. If you have products and stuff, the portfolio aspect of Pinterest is really good in terms of being able to put an imagery.
So you're saying great way to, I'll even say not even selling because that may distract you, but a great way to get the story out, to have a conversation on the web without Twitter and Facebook might be Pinterest.
Pinterest is one. LinkedIn is another.
LinkedIn, okay.
I mean, obviously. In fact,
I've
had more success selling, using the definition of selling on LinkedIn than I ever have on Twitter and Facebook because it's a more, how should I say, a more distinguished business-like environment, and LinkedIn's kind of set up and built to foster these kinds of connections and relationship building processes. So obviously LinkedIn is a great tool to use on that. I think YouTube is a underutilized social media. It is a social media app. It's not just a video storage unit. I mean, you're supposed to build connections there. You're supposed you're supposed to comment on videos and have dialogue about the content you're seeing. It's not just about putting up some video of your cat hacking up a hairball. We've talked a lot on the show about emotional buttons, and video is a great way to do that. But YouTube is really a social media network. Most people don't use it that way.
And it's connected into Google. I mean, what's really neat about that is, someone goes and searches for something, and you have your video popping up there right in the search results. I'm just thinking practically. I know if I hit the play button, it'll play right there for me. It doesn't even have to go to YouTube, and I get that if I enjoy the video or something pertinent, I want to watch a UFC recap, boom, pops up, I see it, I get to go. So I buy it. So you said Pinterest so far, you've said LinkedIn,
YouTube,
you said
Google Plus is an interesting.
Google Plus, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
Why are you such a fan?
So, when you said LinkedIn a few seconds ago, here's what I was thinking. I think Google Plus will unseat LinkedIn as far as the business platform.
Well, that's a big claim. Why
I think
do
so.
you think that?
And I'm not paid by Google. Maybe LinkedIn should start paying me, but frankly, I think Google's integration with Gmail and all the other services they provide, specifically like Hangouts, are so tremendously geared toward how executives work. Is we iterate through conversations, whether it be email or chatter or things like that. And the way executives are keen on news. You notice LinkedIn added LinkedIn Today, adding some news feeds to the site. Well, Google invented that whole thing, right? So I really think it has the Google Plus is in 5 years from now is what LinkedIn is now, is what things like Branch Out for Facebook are attempting to do. And so while right now one of the problems I have is not all of my friends are there, a lot of my business friends are there, which is how I kind of think of LinkedIn. Most of my business friends are there on LinkedIn, and I see more of them coming over. And I'm swapping out services like Skype for Google Hangouts.
Are you really?
Oh yeah, I can go on to Google Plus and send a plus to Todd Schnick. No one else sees it, just you. And so we can message right on our face. Doesn't allow me to do that on LinkedIn. Doesn't allow me to do that on Facebook. I had to dive into messaging apps.
It's more you can do it, but it's a more complicated process.
Yeah, it's natural. It's really for me. If I'm adopting Google, I think Google Plus for me has the really option to completely replace LinkedIn for me.
Interesting. That's fascinating. I hadn't really thought of it as maybe ultimately supplanting LinkedIn, but I'm not disagreeing with that claim. I think it has potential to do that because you hear everybody, all the gurus talking about social media, about the conversation and about interaction and dialogue. I think Google Plus is the best at that in terms of fostering that communication and enabling you to really get into it. So I think
their new iPhone app that just came out days ago it looks like Flipbook. I mean,
I haven't tried it yet.
It's amazing. A lot of news in there. It's a great step forward. But I know I distracted you with that. In my opinion on Google Plus. But if you're not on Google Plus, get there. You're foolish if you're not there.
I'll throw in Foursquare or some sort of geolocation strategy. People say, "How the hell are you going to sell?"
That's what I'm thinking
on Foursquare. Well, let me give you an example. I know a recruiter. Okay, so he's a recruiter, and he's hired by an organization to fill the place people into his organization. There's a competitor across town who has got some good people that they want to try to steal, if you will. And so there's a restaurant next door to where the competitor works. And so if you're familiar at all with Foursquare, you can put up specials. So when you check in at a McDonald's, a thing will pop up saying, "Hey, welcome to McDonald's, free Big Mac today," by checking in on Foursquare. Or if there's a Burger King next door, you check into McDonald's, there can be a thing saying, "Hey, since you're so close to us here at Burger King, you can also buy a burger here for whatever." But this recruiter, what he does is when the people at the competing office check in at the restaurant, he puts up specials saying, "Hey, a job opportunity at my company across town with better benefits, better opportunity, better this, better that." And so he's using Foursquare to be real guerrilla. And so you can be really creative with how you use all these apps if you just use your head and think about it a little bit. We're about out of time, so
we are. But what I heard you say, maybe 5 there. There was
Pinterest, LinkedIn, YouTube, Foursquare, and Google Plus.
Google Plus, I like them. I think if you're relying on Twitter, Facebook, what you're saying is, if you take those off the table for whatever reason, here's some great tools you should be thinking about right now.
The rule of thumb, guys, is you have to know where your market is. Your market may very well be on Facebook, and if so, that's where you need to be. But don't discount some other tools. And gosh, there's more to talk about. Maybe that'd be another
what are
episode.
what are some
other ideas you have?
That you guys have. What are you thinking? Where are you at? What are you finding success with?
All right. Well, that wraps this episode. On behalf of Dan Walshman, I'm Todd Schnick. Treat your customers and your prospects like human beings. We'll see you next time on Sales Chaos TV.